Kojima's style breaks the barrier between cinema and games. In a way, he's a film director, but uses video games to tell the story. So he understands how much control he needs to yield to the player, when he needs to take it back, what is the barrier that exists tacitly between the viewer and the gamer and the characters. He breaks it with Mantis, you know. He can have the game talking to you and you go, what is happening?
Put your controller on the floor. Now I will move your controller by the power of my will alone.
He puts in his Twitter handle, 90% of my body is cinema. I think it is. So he is very, very cinematic, and he's incredibly stubborn. And he's incredibly, like, what he wants is what he wants. And I mean, I remember when we were talking about Silent Hills, he developed a whole thing very different than a playable teaser. And I thought, this is amazing. And we talked about it, and a couple of months later, it was completely different. And he had ignored anything that I had to say. He's a very sensitive soul, incredibly aware of music and comics and everything. He's like in the middle of a web of culture. I think all directors I admire and all directors I have a kinship with, most of them at least, they are incredibly aware. I think that you need to be a cultural glutton in a way. You never know where it's going to come. I mean, you can be reading an Architectural Digest magazine and you see a door you like and you go, oh, this is, and you have an idea that it's not that, it's oblique. Because I don't think cinematic ideas come linear. They are oblique. It's like playing billiards. You have to bounce here to get there. You don't see a door and then you design that door. You see a door and then you say, of course he did it like that. I'm going to do the window like that or something, you know.
Let's go home.
How do we do it? Do we jump like Fragile?
No. The beach goes the whole way. We run. Together.
Run?
Yeah. Like Mario and Princess Peach.
I was good friends with Mark Frost. I don't know Lynch very much. I saw him one lunch and I was trembling. But I'm good friends with Mark Frost, and Mark said to me something that I believe is true of Kojima too. He said, you know, David is unironic. He said, people think David is ironic, but he isn't. He actually loves that little bluebird singing at the end of Blue Velvet, and he really believes in the goodness of pie and coffee. Like, he's not being meta. He really has the two things, the weirdest mind and the most wholesome mind. And I think Kojima emotionally is quirky. It's not that he's ironic. I think he's the same as Lynch. He believes in the possibility of love and humanity, but he also believes in the coolness of brutality or the spectacle of machines destroying buildings. Like, he's made of all these things, and he's not afraid to juxtapose them. You know, I think that paradoxical creation is essential to art. You marry things that shouldn't go together, and when they go together, it's like when you think about Dalí putting together the telephone and the lobster, and it's a new object that makes no sense as a lobster and no sense as a phone. It's a third thing. That's paradoxical thinking, I believe. You know, is taking things that you instinctively think this is going to be good together.